Here's a first-person video script you can use. It assumes the speaker owns and has used the Dolphin Advantage Ultra. This is the Dolphin Advantage Ultra, the robotic pool vacuum that has made pool care feel simple for me. My pool stays open year-round, even when it's too cold to swim, and this unit has kept working through every season. When spring hits and pollen starts drifting across the surface and sinking to the floor, I notice it the most. That's when this cleaner earns its place. I was skeptical at first. I worried it would get tangled, miss spots, or struggle with the long, stringy pollen from my oak trees. I also wondered if the brushes would wear down quickly since I run it a lot. From my experience, those worries faded after the first few weeks. It climbs the walls, scrubs up to the waterline, and handles the floor in steady, organized passes. If you're new to pool robots, the waterline is the band where the water meets the tile or liner, the place where grime loves to build. Scrubbing that area is a big deal, and it's one of the reasons I kept this model instead of going back to manual cleaning. Key features that matter most to me are the scrubbing brushes, the wall climbing, and the top-load filter. The brushes are the rotating rollers up front that do the heavy work of loosening algae and dirt so the vacuum can pull it in. The wall climbing means I don't have to brush the sides with a pole anymore, which used to take time I didn't want to spend. The top-load filter is just a basket that lifts out from the top, so I can rinse it in a minute and drop it back in. No flipping the unit over or dealing with clips I can't see. In my opinion, that makes regular maintenance painless. A typical cleaning cycle is one full run from start to finish, where the robot maps the pool, travels the floor, climbs the walls, and scrubs near the waterline. With my pool size, a single cycle usually gets everything. If there's a streak of pollen or a stubborn patch, I run it again the same day. The cleaner doesn't need the pool pump to run because it's self-contained. It has its own motor and suction. That's part of why robots are popular. They don't rely on your pool's plumbing or a booster pump, and setting one up is basically plug, drop, and press the power button. On reliability, this unit has been rock solid for me. I've used it for years, most days of the week, and the body, tracks, and brushes have held up better than I expected. I take it out by the handle, let it drain for a moment so I'm not dragging water across the deck, and I set it upright out of direct sun. I clean the filter basket regularly, especially during heavy pollen weeks. For anyone new to filters, the basket can be swapped between fine and ultrafine inserts. Fine filters catch leaves and larger grit. Ultrafine filters catch dust and pollen. When I notice yellow dust settling along the floor, I use the ultrafine insert and it comes up clean. It's perfect for pools up to about 50 feet in length. My setup has curves and a gentle slope to the deep end, and it handles both. Steps are always a tricky spot for most robots, and I treat them as a bonus when the cleaner scrubs part of a step on the way up or down. If your pool sits under big trees, this unit will pick up most leaves, but truly large, fresh leaves can sometimes lie flat and block the intake. When that happens, I just scoop the worst leaves first, then let the robot take care of the rest. That's not a fault of this model in my view. That's just how robot vacuums deal with big, soft leaves. Cable management has been easier than I expected. I leave enough slack for it to reach every corner, and I lay the cable across the deck in wide loops so it's not coiled too tight. The cable rarely tangles for me, and I unwind it fully once in a while to let it relax. The power supply stays on a dry, shaded part of the deck, and I make sure the outlet is protected. I never swim while the robot is running, and I always unplug it before I pull it out. Those are simple habits, but they keep everything safe and extend the life of the gear. From my experience, the cleaning pattern is consistent. It doesn't rush, and that's a good thing. It methodically tracks the floor, then climbs, then comes back down and keeps going. When I lift it out and pop the lid, I can tell what's been happening in the yard. Oak strings, a mat of dust, a bit of fine sand, even a small layer of silt after a windy day. All of that ends up in the basket. The brushes are still in great shape after years of use, which surprised me. I thought I'd be replacing them regularly, but they've stayed firm and keep their grip on algae. I've had a few minor hiccups, and they were easy to handle. On rare days when the pool is unusually messy, A single cycle might miss a line along the deep end. I run a second cycle and it's gone. If a big leaf sticks in the intake, I clear it and restart. If pollen is heavy, I swap to the ultrafine insert, rinse it more often, and the pool looks like glass again. Those are small trade-offs for the time I get back. I used to spend a chunk of my weekend brushing, vacuuming, and cleaning the skimmer more than I wanted. Now I check the robot, rinse the filter, and I'm done. A quick note for anyone new to robots. You don't want to leave any cleaner in the pool 24/7. I run it often, but I still take it out between uses. Prolonged chemicals and sun aren't great for plastic. I also store the unit upright, not on its brushes, and I keep the power supply dry. Little habits like that help a lot over the long run. In my opinion, the best part is the wall and waterline scrubbing. Floors can look clean while the waterline builds up a film you don't notice until the sun hits it. This unit actually scrubs that band, and it makes the pool look sharper every day. It also grabs fine debris that the skimmer and main filter don't always catch, which reduces how often I need to backwash or clean my main filter. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants reliable, low-effort cleaning for an in-ground or above-ground pool up to 50 feet, especially if you deal with seasonal pollen, dust, or trees that drop small debris. It's also good for people who want a plug-and-go experience without setting up hoses or booster pumps. If you're the type who enjoys tinkering, you'll still like that it's simple to maintain and easy to rinse out. If you're wondering about noise, it's quiet under the water. On the deck, I just hear the water moving a little when it climbs and turns. If you're wondering about cost over time, my maintenance so far has been limited to cleaning the filter inserts and basic care. The unit has stayed solid without me replacing a bunch of parts, and that's after years of frequent use. In conclusion, this cleaner has taken the hassle out of my routine. It climbs, scrubs, and collects what my trees and wind throw at the pool. It doesn't complain about cold weather, and it doesn't leave me chasing algae lines. From my experience, the Dolphin Advantage Ultra is dependable, easy to live with, and effective at what matters. It's perfect for homeowners who want a clean pool without constant manual sweeping, and it's been worth it for me season after season. I will share detailed information about the Dolphin Advantage Ultra in the comments section. Everyone, thank you for watching.